Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Christensen. We're going to cleanse you boys right up with baptism. We've got Cameron Mickle on the podcast.
I knew you was white. I could smell you a mile off.
We've got Jordan Christensen.
You're not invited to my birthday party.
And we've got first-time guest Madison Garlock.
Hi, everybody. I was going to say that one too, Jordan. I love that quote.
Oh, dang it. I was going to say another one where it's like, I'm young, I'm not old.
I love that one.
I think it's great that, I don't know why more of our guests don't do that, because they always come on the podcast not realizing they're supposed to have a quote, but you're not supposed to have a quote. Well, we all just started doing this because each one of us will take our favorite quotes, so we just started saying
Ty started saying quotes at the beginning because he's afraid we're taking his, you bum.
No. I didn't start this. You started this, Jordan. You used to be like, every intro that I'd get, you would quote the movie, and sometimes they'd be my favorite quote. And you would do the quote wrong, or you would do a good job.
Oh, okay. You are better at quoting it, though. I'm not going to lie.
No, Ty definitely changes words
savage.
around. Dude, you're not freaking perfect. Like,
no, he does the best imitation, though. He does the best imitation.
Okay, yeah, it does the imitation, but doesn't do it word for word.
Okay, well.
Oh, Cameron, sorry. I'm so glad I have you here to regulate me and make sure that I'm doing it properly.
Don't worry, that's what I'm here for.
Today, we're discussing the Peanut Butter Falcon. Finally, it's here. Finally got you guys to watch it. We're watching this movie. This movie is so great. This movie came out in 2019. It was directed by Tyler Nielsen and Michael Schwartz.
Wait, the director's name is Tyler? That's funny. He named his lead actor in this movie Tyler. Tyler?
That's right. It was also written by Tyler Nielsen and Michael Schwartz, and it stars Zach Gottsagen, if I'm saying that right. Ann Owens.
You're not going to start with Shia
Bruce
LaBeouf?
Dern,
Shia LaBeouf.
Dakota Johnson, Shia LaBeouf, Thomas Hayden Church. I like Thomas. Rob Thomas, John Berthenol, Jim Zaros, John Hawkes, and a few others. We're going to go around and say what was it like watching this movie the first time and what was it like rewatching it for the podcast. Let's start with Cameron.
Okay, the first time I watched it, I think it was about almost a year ago. I watched it with...
Do you watch it with Ryan?
Yeah, I watched it with Ryan, Mom, and Dad.
Did Dad like it?
I was definitely worried with the crowd that I was watching it with. I genuinely
Isn't that the night too? Isn't that the night on the the night too he told you to not talk about rated R movies on the podcast?
I don't remember. I actually was just talking to one of my roommates about that.
That's funny. But
yeah, I watched it the first time with Ryan and kind of a big group, and everyone really loved it. I can't remember what Dad thought about it. I think Dad even enjoyed it. It's just that overall, I just really enjoyed the first watch. I was really excited to see Shia LaBeouf in a different role. And then...
Dad even enjoyed it. I just want to appreciate that. That's just a really funny stamp
well,
of
but
approval.
Ty...
It's like, Dad even liked it.
Ty, but I asked...
He doesn't like anything.
I asked Cassie, I'm like, Cassie, you need to watch this movie if you haven't seen it. And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I'll definitely watch it and check it out. And then she's like, so I can watch it before the podcast. And then she told her husband, she's like, we need to watch this movie tonight. And he's like, oh, we definitely watched that. She's like, we did? I don't remember this movie at all. And she's like, let's watch it again. And he's like, it's pretty depressing. Which I didn't think so.
Depressing?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
This is one of the best feel-good movies of all time. I mean, yeah, there's moments of anxiety, and anyway, we'll get into it. But, okay, sorry, Cameron, we interrupted you.
And then rewatching for the pod, I was kind of telling Jordan earlier, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really excited to rewatch it because I didn't know how rewatchable it was, and so I kind of pushed off watching it until the last moment possible. But holy cow, rewatching it again, I even liked it more than I did the first time, and just really appreciated it a lot more, and just every aspect of it, and just loved how quotable it was.
Absolutely. Let's go to Madison. Madison, what was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the pod?
Yeah. So the first time I saw it, I was in the movie theater, and I remember sitting there. So I have a deep passion for people with special needs or disabilities, and so I'd never seen an actor who was actually somebody from that community on the screen, and I thought this is such a cool thing to be able to see somebody live their dreams, because later when you watch him in interviews, you find out that, he's always just wanted to be an actor and that he had this opportunity. And anyway, I just thought it was really cool to see him, and then a comeback of Shia LaBeouf, and see how he's progressed and changed over the years to become the actor that he is now, and the person that he is now. And because
I thought you were saying that like.
What?
You could be saying that, man. He's wearing a bag on his head like I'm not famous anymore,
Right.
dude. Mental breakdown.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. I don't know if you guys saw Honey Boy, but that was a life changer as well. It was just heavy.
Oh my gosh, I did. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
That is a heavy movie.
Such a heavy movie. Anyway, so
Maybe Cassie and Andrew thought that was the movie. Or
Oh.
They're like, yeah, that movie's super depressing.
That's
Like,
such a
no.
depressing movie.
This is the Bayou down the river one, not the childhood abuse and the terrible upbringing.
Oh,
from that
yeah.
scuzzbag of a father.
so sad
Incredible
and scary. But yeah, so I immediately after seeing it was like, I have to go see it again. And so I saw it a week later in the theater again, and I enjoyed it just as much. And then since then I've watched it a few times. I really like it. I don't know. I just think it's like such a unique movie in so many ways. So yeah.
Have you not seen The Ringer then?
Awesome.
No, I haven't.
That is
I've
so
heard
funny, dude.
that
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think out of
a
all
little
of the
offensive, but-
handicapped people surprisingly, I'm going to be an apologist. I'm going to come under heat for this, but I still think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Now, I think they only star like one guy that has Down syndrome.
Well,
but I
some
think
of the
that's pretty much
background
it. Everyone
people
else is
were,
an actor.
but not like the
there
main
was
people.
definitely
Right.
a lot of people.
But yeah, most of the main actors, I'm like, yeah, you don't. What does he say in Tropic?
Yeah,
Thunder?
that's right.
The
There's a
full
fine
retard.
line. You went the full retard.
That's-
Like you can't go.
Yeah, that's what Robert Downey Jr. says in the movie. It made me think of that Simple Jack, the one that Ben Stiller starred.
Yeah,
in
or like Forrest
movie,
Gump.
so.
You know, he never went the full.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's surprising is like The Ringer, they were actually bringing to light like that story about the guy that was rigging the Special Olympics, right? Which I heard it like happened
just-
or something like that. So
Just that caption sounds horrible to rig
yeah,
it.
it is. Well, and that's like the kind of person you have to be in order to do it. But what's amazing is they still made Johnny Knoxville's character like redeemable somehow, right? Like he's just trying to help his caretaker. Well, he's his gardener because he fired him.
Anyways, that's a whole nother
We're not even
discussion,
talking about that movie. Yeah. But yes, it does star a Down syndrome, and he actually has some really quotable lines.
Yes.
Like "Oh my Lanta," he's probably one of the funniest people in that movie
So
too.
funny.
He just tears Johnny Knoxville in.
Oh, I thought we were talking back to this movie. I was going to say this kid also has Down syndrome, and he is hilarious.
I think that's some of my favorite things about this. But we cut you off, Madison. Anything else you wanted to add about your second viewing?
Oh no, I just think that it has a lot of interesting symbolism and even though it is a comedy in a lot of ways, but it has a lot of like really interesting and thought-provoking parts to it that I really enjoy. And I think that's why I've continued to watch it over and over again to like learn different lessons and kind of dig deeper into it.
That's great.
Yeah.
How about you, Jordan? What was it like watching it the first time and rewatching it for the pod?
Okay, so I saw it also in the theater the first time, and it was just me and one other lady, and it was so funny because after the credits rolled, she turned to me across the theater, and she's like, "That was amazing!"
And then she came over and embraced you and you kissed.
No, but it was
Passionately for 3 hours.
it was so much fun. It's just like such a feel good movie. I just remember like feeling so amazing when he like picks up that guy and hucks him. Like there's nothing better than that scene. I know it's super
Spoiler alert,
cheesy,
yeah.
but it's amazing. I absolutely love this movie and loved it the first time, and then I've only seen it twice since, and I don't know, it's just as good rewatching it. So I enjoyed it a lot. Don't have a ton to say, but I think it's one of those like just really feel good movies that you should check out. So
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So just a quick plot synopsis. Zach, he runs away from his care home to make his dream of becoming a wrestler come true. And so he's on the
did
road
that
to
wrestler
find
type
Thomas.
remind you of the one from Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes, actually, yeah, Rex Kwon-do. He reminds me, yeah, saltwater redneck. Yeah. Played by Thomas Hayden Church. He's so funny. I only know him. I feel so bad. I don't think I've ever known him not as the villain. The only thing I can identify him as is that one movie, it's not something about Mary. It's something about Jane. It's like The one with Sandra Bullock that was so forgettable, starring Bradley Cooper and Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
so bad.
the news
I
reporter.
can't remember that one. All About Mary or something
Steve.
like that. All About Steve. That's the one. Yeah, it sucked.
That was bad.
It sucked. But he was in that movie, and he was also in George of the Jungle, which is the only other movie I know him from.
That's the one.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. He's
Yeah.
opposite of Brandon Fraser, and you don't like him. He's so just unlikable.
Yeah.
I just feel bad. I feel like he got typecasted as he and the guy, the villain from Flubber, what's his name?
Oh,
and
yeah.
the villain and Happy Gilmore. They just got typecasted as like just douchebags, and they never got away from it. Like it's so sad because I think they are really good actors, but anyway. Shooter McGavin. So yeah, that's the plot synopsis. So we're gonna go around and say two of our favorite things from this movie. Why don't we start you off, Jordan?
Two of my favorite things have to be probably the religious guy. I just all his lines and trying to think of the best way to word it. Well, I'm thinking of Always Sunny in Philadelphia when he like turns to him and he's like, "We're church blacks," and he like gives him a high five. I just like love those types of people. They have such a fun like energy to them.
Jordan loves black gospel people. That's what he's trying to say.
I'm trying not to sound racist here. I'm just trying to say like that I love his character and the energy and I always love a segment where they're always talking about getting baptized. Like there's the same thing in Oh Brother Where Art Thou that just makes me smile every time when he just talks about getting baptized and watching all his sins away. I love that so much. So
even that time you robbed the Piggly Wiggly? That's included too.
I just love the entire feel of this. So I guess that goes along with the music and kind of that indie film. I love indie films. Like I would just love to talk about only indie films on this podcast, but obviously there's so many good ones. But it has such a feel good vibe to it, and you know he's learning life lessons, and it's just a great film all around. I'll have to think of more specific in a minute, but
excellent. So let's go to Madison. What were your two favorite things from this film?
Yeah, I love the scene where it's just like a montage of them like doing different things together, and like it's the bonding montage. I like to categorize it as, you know, like they're wearing watermelon on their head and they're eating peanut butter and they're dancing and they're shooting a gun, and like it's all these things that just like kind of embody this feel of them living their lives just like how they want to live instead of like conforming to society. And I don't know, I think that's kind of just one of my really favorite parts of it. And then I also really love the part where Zach gets drunk and they he makes him the wings, the Falcon wings, and they come up with the peanut butter Falcon. And like that is like the epitome of the show, right? He's living his dream to his fullest, right? Because he does get to wrestle in the end, but that's not like what he wants it, but he doesn't really. He feels pressured, I think. But it's like he now has this persona that is not retarded because he hates that word, you know? He hates this R word, and he feels like he's able to be powerful. And I think there's a lot of power in that because a lot of these people who do struggle from different disabilities don't have that feeling of empowerment a lot. And so that's his moment of like, I am a person who is important. So I love that.
Yeah, and I wonder if I didn't watch the behind the scenes on this, but I wonder if a lot of the stuff he did was totally just is it called ad lib? What is it when you're just making it up on the spot?
Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah, because some of the stuff he was saying, I was just like, this is too golden. This is too good to just, I don't know, be written down, but maybe.
No, like they said, I don't know. I watched this one interview with him and Shia LaBeouf, and Shia was like, hey, I just had to kind of roll with it all the time because I couldn't like plan, because he had certain lines, but he wouldn't always deliver them how they were supposed to be delivered.
Sure.
Or yeah, he was like, I was always on my toes, you know? So it's an eye-opening experience for him.
Yeah, I think that's great you mentioned that, because it actually goes into my favorite thing. My absolute favorite thing is the chemistry between Zach and Shia. I guess Zach got it again, or whatever his name is. It's funny because they spell his name Z-A-K, but yeah, Zach Zach and Shia, their chemistry is so unbelievable. I watched this movie and I was like, I don't think I've seen two actors on film that have captured such an impressive. I mean, the chemistry between the banter back and forth, like you said, is unbelievable because I don't think I've seen such an authentic and genuine relationship to people on screen for a long time. Like, this movie harkens back to me watching Hunt for the Wilder People and Oh Brother Where Art Thou was mentioned, but those are the movies that made me think about it, and they're very similar. But I just think they're the way Shia LaBeouf and Zach, the way they interact with each other is just absolutely remarkable. And I will say that, and for all their flaws, this movie has real moments of tension and true emotion. I mean, this is one of the few movies that gives me the feels, because a lot of movies I'm very cynical, so a lot of movies don't, fail to reach me, but this is probably one of the most honest and earnest movies I've seen in a long time. That's why we're reviewing it on the podcast. So I absolutely love it for the chemistry, and then the moments that you feel genuine joy. I mean, this is a very real and emotional movie.
I was going to say just that word, real. Like, because I love how at first, like, it's always like the reluctant main character, is always a bit hesitant. But I watched another movie with Tom Cruise, and he had a handicapped brother, and he was, or handicapable, or whatever the word is.
Is that Rain Man?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, I don't know what it's called. Anyways, but
Well, is
That
it the
good,
one with...
huh?
Yeah, wait, 1 second.
no, it's with Tom
It's
Cruise, not with
Dustin
Matt
Hoffman?
Damon.
Yeah. No, I know. Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman. Rain Man?
Yeah.
Where you can
Is that
count
Rain
cards?
Man? I thought that was a different one. Anyways, doesn't matter.
It's Rain Man.
Well, because there's another one.
There's no other movie where Tom Cruise acts opposite of someone that
Well,
has
anyways, he's just
some
super mean to his
disability.
brother for like half the movie, and like it's hard to watch. I'm like, oh man. But
Unless you're referring to Good Time, or about,
No.
Good Time with Robert Pattinson.
that's another good one. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. What I was trying to say is, like, the reluctant hero, I just love how at first kind of his intentions aren't great, and then but as they kind of like create that bond, suddenly, I don't know, it's like you said, I guess it kind of makes him a redeemable character. But
Is there a bounty for him? Are you a bounty hunter? Do I look like a bounty hunter?
All right, perfect. And how about you, Cameron? Two of your favorite things?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of things I really enjoy about this. I think similar to kind of what Ty was talking about with the chemistry, I just really love the relationships in this movie. I love even, like, in the beginning of the show when he first breaks out, I love you kind of see the relationship he has with the old man or whatever, and he's like, if I had $1 or a dime for every time he watched that, he's like, I'd be the richest man on earth or whatever. And I just love how, like, they have kind of like almost like that brotherly like relationship where it's like the love-hate, where like they always banter and kind of like will roast and make fun of each other, but like at the end of the day they got each other's back. And then obviously Shia and Zach's relationship is super awesome, and I really enjoy kind of Shia's relationship with the girl from Social Network. I forget her name in this movie, but I really enjoy that.
From 50 Shades of Grey, Cameron. That's right.
Yeah,
Isn't that where we all know her from? No. Okay. Sorry.
She's in another movie that I
Hey,
haven't seen.
work is positive work, okay?
God,
Work is hard work. I don't know what they could say about
that's her
sex
name,
work these days.
Eleanor. And then she's also in 21 Jump Street. And then another one of my favorite things about the movie, I just love the...
And 50 Shades of Grey, too.
I really enjoy this film. Does a really good job at I feel like the physical humor. Like, dude, one of my favorite scenes that just totally caught me off guard the first time I watched it is when he's like, "Yeah, jump, retard!" And then Shia LaBeouf just gets on top of the thing, and just punches some like 9-year-old in the face, and then just dives in after him. I was like, "What the freak?" And then the same with like the shotgun, when he shoots the shotgun and the knockback just like hits him, kicks him back like 5 feet. They just did a lot of like really good like physical humor shots along with the cinematography. The cinematography was fantastic.
If we're talking, Ty, about what movie she's in, she was also in 5 Year Engagement. She was the mean girlfriend. She's like calling him ugly and fat, and then she's like, "Just go before I say something mean."
That's right.
I love that.
Yeah, why don't you check your or whatever? Oh, and you know what? She was in the third 50 Shades of Grey movie.
Gosh, okay.
So we're gonna get into. Well, thank you all for sharing. But before we get into quotes, I love the. I think Cameron mentioned cinematography, but the color palette of this movie is really beautiful. Like, it's like all. I don't know what to call it. Just like golden. It's very beautiful, almost dreamlike, and that's where the adventure kind of fantasy, very kind of like Mark Twain, as it's been described, right? Like a river rafting movie down the bayou, and
it's like Swiss Army Man
I
meets
could watch
Forrest
these all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a good comparison. You know, Swiss Army Man. I think of Captain Fantastic a little bit too, and definitely Hunt for the Wilder People, like we mentioned. There was another good movie that was called Fighting with My Family. It was all about WWE wrestling, and with Nick Frost, and that movie kind of reminded me of this as well. But yeah, gosh, this movie is such a great movie. So, you guys have favorite quotes, or I guess do we do nitpicks first?
Yeah.
Sorry, nitpicks. Any things you wanted to? I would just say Shia LaBeouf is in no way or shape or form prepared to handle taking care of someone like Zach. Like, holy crap, he endangers them. The scene where they're swimming across the river and he's got him.
Oh my gosh.
That scene stressed me out so much.
bad.
Like, even rewatching it, I was sweating. Like, he's got him, he's on a rope and he's so far back behind him and he's swimming and Zach can't swim. So he's got him like using his pants as an inflatable raft, which is actually a really good survival move, But as he's floating across the river, he's swimming, and there's this boat coming, and it's going to run over the cord tethering them together. And it's so stressful, and he's just swimming. He's like, and he's like swimming as fast as he can. He gets to the other shoreline, starts pulling Zach in, and he just misses the boat as it goes by. It's like, it's so stressful. So yeah, endangering a kid with Down syndrome in your care is... It's not a good thing. It's not, I wouldn't even call it a nitpick, but it stressed me out. And I was like, shame on you, Shia, shame on you. So, but yeah, incredible. Just the scenes of tension are really felt. The scenes of emotion are really
But they're
felt.
living,
the humor
Ty.
lands.
They're living.
You care about. What's that?
But they're living, Ty.
But they're
That's
living.
what he tells her. Cause
yeah, well, you've been out here doing paperwork. We've been doing something called living. So
Yes.
we're going to get into, does anyone else have any nitpicks or anything you wanted to throw out there?
I just wish... Oh, go, Jordan. Oh, sorry.
Go.
No, yeah.
Madison, go.
No.
I'd like to say something.
Okay, mine is just really quick. I did wish there was like a little bit more of like his injury after he gets injured and then all of a sudden he's in the car. Like, I get that that was to like build tension and be like, did he survive? But at the same time, like, I just wanted something more behind that story. But I feel like they didn't give enough backstory on a lot of these characters, or like the backstory of the painful things. But that could have been a stylistic choice, right? Like, that could have been like, let's just focus on the adventure and like the good times, because like they just like brush over a lot of like Zach's past too, of like what happened to his parents, like why aren't they able to take care of him? Are they too old? Like, what's going on? So there's just like, I wish that there was just like a little bit more character development of a background story than there actually was. So
yeah, and I wonder how much of that was conscious or cut for time, because I thought about that too, where I almost feel like this movie is so universal. Because I'll be honest, I could not live in a more different place than the bayou that this is set in.
Right.
Like, I don't live anywhere near these creeks. I don't have people fishing for crabs outside my home. So, no one I know owns a boat. But again, I mean, there are parts of Wisconsin that definitely is the case. And I obviously don't associate with a lot of fishermen. But if I were, maybe that would be my life. But I still find this movie incredibly relatable. And maybe that's due to the ambiguity of their past. I'm seeing their life and I'm thrown right into the middle of it. And then rather than dealing on the specifics, it's like, yeah, we all have a hurt past. I mean, every single one of us has things that we regret. Things that we wish we could undo. If we had a do-over, we would. And maybe that's why. And again, for Zach, like, we all deal with abandonment issues, like, we all cope with it differently. So maybe that was a conscious choice, but I totally see that. And I'm like, yeah, I want to spend more time. It's like, give me a 10-episode Netflix series
Right.
of this journey down the river. Let me see all the other wacky, zany characters they meet on their adventures down the river. Like, I could be stuck in this world forever. So It's a very valid criticism. You, Cameron, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, just
Nitpick?
two things that I thought were a little. So one, I mean, the throw I think was meant to be cheesy, but
That's
like
the best.
No, it's beautiful.
I don't
it's
know,
not cheesy.
like-
It's the most beautiful thing.
it took me out of the it
Symbolic,
took me out of the film a little bit. I wish what I wish he would have done is like I would have kind of let it slide the giant throw. I thought it would have been funny if he threw the guy to save Shia, because then like his motivation was to save Shia. But then the fact that he was just like throwing him just to throw him, I was like, what the fudge? And then the other thing I feel like they didn't do as well.
Well, Cameron, he didn't do it for Shia. He did it for himself.
Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah, it wasn't just to help Shia, man. Shia needs to fight his own battles.
My man needs some help.
That sin that Shia had to pay for, that was on him. That was before he even met the Peanut Butter Falcon or Zach.
Yeah. And then I think the second thing was just. I think the second thing was just.
He's like, yeah, I don't know about that.
The second thing that I thought was a little. I just felt like they didn't develop the other side characters like well enough. Like the guy's kind of hunting after him. I feel like if they would have kind of given a little bit more backstory, or like I don't know, just so I could like understand them a little bit more. Otherwise, just like it made them just seem like the typical villains. I'm like, obviously, I know like these people have like reasons behind it.
That was my nitpick. Aren't they actual villains, or are they just like he destroyed like their livelihood?
Yeah,
like,
he like
burned
burned
it. Like
yeah.
great call, Shia LaBeouf. Like of course they're gonna come after
Dude,
you.
he burns it, and then he's like pissed. He burns
And then
their
they point a
stuff, and he's just
shotgun at
walking
him,
away,
yeah.
and they're like, "Hey!" And then he like starts sprinting. He's like, "Oh, jeez!" Like they already see it burning. Well, of course they weren't far off. Like anyway, I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
That'd be my nitpick too. But it's like, what are you doing walking away from the scene of arson? Freaking flee for your life, man. Oh, but that scene, holy crap, of tension. Turning off your boat and hiding in the thicket
Stops his
of
throw off.
weeds.
Yeah.
And then Zach starts
worst
throwing up and he has to stop it. It's so funny. It's so great. What a great character introduction when
Yes.
they meet. Where he's like ready to kill him. He's like, who the freak is this stowaway on my boat?
Oh my gosh.
And then, that's a great scene. So great way for characters to meet. Any other nitpicks?
No, that's great.
Yeah, I would just say like it never gets old. I love seeing when a character meets their hero and their hero is just some pot-bellied
Yes.
loser. Like I love that. Like saltwater redneck or whatever. He was. I no longer fight anymore. I freaking love that. It's so funny. I never get tired of it. Where it's like your whole life you look for meaning in something and then you find out it's in you all along. That never gets old. That archetype like that. Story arc. I love when you meet your hero and they let you down, but in the end you realize what it was inside you all along. Which is why the throw at the end, Cameron, like the whole fight, it was super intense. The guy is like not going easy on him. In fact, he's like throwing him around. He's making fun of him, and you're like,
He's the
what
real
a dirtbag.
villain, dude.
Like he's the real villain of the movie,
was.
and that's why he gets thrown so beautifully off of the stage, like far away, dude, freaking inhumanely, like with inhuman strength. Zach throws him out of the ring, and it's so gratifying. It's like one part
Zach's
Nacho
an
Libre. That's the
Avenger
other
over
movie
here,
that This
yeah.
reminds me of. Yeah, one part Nacho Libre. So we're gonna get into favorite quotes. Do you guys have any favorite quotes from this movie? One of mine, I know you guys will think of it, but he goes, rule number one is you never slow me down, never. And rule number two, I'm always I'm in charge, right? And then they start walking. He goes, Zach, what's rule number one? What's rule number one? And he's like, party. No,
love that.
it's not party. Zach is so cute. Oh, he's such a great guy. Gosh, I love it. That's one of my favorite quotes.
I love it when he's like, when Shia's talking to Zach, and he just talks to him about, because Zach's talking about how he's like a bad guy, because he got left behind too, and Shia's like, good guys get left behind too, and then Zach tells him, he's like, I can't be a hero because I'm a Down syndrome, and he's like, what does it have to do about your heart? I think that's one thing that I really like about Shia's like interaction with Zach is, he just. Like, I think the fact of, like, because Shia's, like, really different from everyone else, he just doesn't even almost treat Zach like he's, like, any different than anybody else. And I think that's what kind of builds into their relationship and why Zach, I think, appreciates him so much and why the girl ends up, like, kind of seeing how what's called Shia treats him, because he just like doesn't even act like he's any different. He's just like, oh yeah, you're just like my friend. You're just like one of my buddies.
Yeah, I this isn't a quote per se, but I love how the humor, like we were talking earlier, just there's a lot of it, and I love the part where they're like trying to talk and have a conversation without him listening. So like, put your head back under the water so they can keep this conversation going. And then as soon as he lifts his head up, he brings up a fish. So good. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Well, when they were in the water, again, the most intense scene right before he, like, it's so sad. Zach asked Shia, he's just like, am I going to die? And he goes, yeah, you're going to die. It's a matter of time. You know, it ain't a question. Yeah. He goes, the question is whether you're going to have a good story to tell about when you're gone. He goes, now stop. Don't be a bee.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a bee. Let's go. And then, like, he endangers him in the most stressful scene I've seen in a long time. Like, helpless Zach in floaties, you know, in pants, inflated pants, and he's gonna get crushed by a boat. It freaks me out.
I love it when
when
what's her name? I always freaking forget her name in this movie.
Eleanor.
Yeah, when Eleanor first meets the blind like priest or whatever, she's like, "Have you seen this man?" He's like, "I ain't seen." He like points at his eyes and just like, and she's just like, oh.
Dude, it's great.
He's like, you got here in person?
Yeah, you got here in person.
Yeah, the way they treat Dakota.
He's a missionary at heart. Never stops, man.
It's so great.
I
would say one nitpick almost is like, again, it's an adventure fantasy movie almost, so I don't knock it, but like at the very end, the idea that they end up together, like, you know, Dakota Johnson and Shia end up together, and they're just gonna like adopt Zach or whatever. It's too perfect. I love it. I'm so glad it ends that way, but it's just like, you know, anyway. We meet each other, you know. It's perfect. What am I kidding? It's the perfect ending. I don't know how else you end this movie. It's just, do I believe that they actually end up together and then they're like, well, let's just start a family. Like, doing what? Setting fire to our competitor crawdad fishermen, their nets, and you know, I guess you have your job at the nursing home, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, are they going to hire her though? If she let?
Yeah, she was an accomplice in his missing for weeks.
Yeah,
his escape. Probably not. Probably got her license removed too.
She doesn't have a lot to lose at that point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what is she like? She wasn't happy there. Yeah, she's miserable.
Yeah.
Man, nursing home. Just shoot me in the head. Man, I do not want to end up there. In any nursing home.
Yeah.
I'll die with my boots on.
Yeah, this is a bit of a fantasy ending, Disney ending. It's not quite like 500 Days of Summer. That's much more real.
That's a very real ending, which is so good.
Yeah. That is a real movie ending. No, but again, like I said, yeah, this movie's an adventure fantasy, really, you know? Comedy, drama, it's everything. It's everything I want in a movie, so I'm happy the way it ended. But yeah, I did remember thinking, like, it's too doggone perfect. It's too perfect. So that was my only gripe.
I will say one of my favorite quotes from this movie is how Zach continuously says, "You're invited to my birthday party, or you're not invited to my birthday party."
Yes.
And
Yes.
I just think that's like so cool that he values every year of his life like so much that he's like, I want you to be there to celebrate with me, or I don't want you to be there to celebrate with me.
Right.
I love when he says, I want you to have all my birthday wishes.
Oh man, that was
Yeah.
my quote. Yeah, that was such a heartwarming moment. So
I love when they're like slapping each other in the face.
sweet.
Yes.
I was like, that's such a brother moment.
So
Just,
good. And it's like,
yeah, both sides.
so
Their secret
good.
handshake was really sweet too. I love it. Like, it's clearly made up on the spot. He's like, all right, we're gonna have a secret handshake. Okay, one of these. 2, 4 times? 4 times? All
And then they
right.
show it in
We only do that in special time when something special happens, all right? I love that.
And when they
So
do it in
sweet.
front of Eleanor, and she's like, "Oh, I want a secret handshake." He's like, "It's only for special shiz."
Yeah, dude, she's kind of the punching bag for a lot of the movie, dude. It's so funny. Yeah, she seems to be out of the loop, and everyone seems to dislike her.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, she just has a crappy job, you know?
Ty, I think you got something in your teeth.
Who does?
Oh, I thought you did. Never mind. Just keep going. Yeah, you do. It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Hey, check it out. My dinner. I was enjoying that. I'll save it for later. Lovely. All right. So I lost my train of thought. Who was the best? Who was the worst? I would say Zach and Shia were the best. They stole the movie. Although, there could be said that the Baptist guy was pretty cool, too. I think he did a lot with what he had. Worst, Dakota Johnson's character. I'm sorry. She's you could have had any more charismatic girl fulfill that part, and maybe I would have liked her more, you know?
I don't know.
That's why at the end it's like it's too perfect. It's like, did they have chemistry? I think just about anyone would care for Shia. He's such a sweet guy, even though you didn't see the part where he tugged Zach along behind him and nearly got him crushed by a boat.
Well, he even told her that too.
Dude, they should have
Yeah,
had more John Bernthal, dude. It's so funny. I was watching with my roommate, and I was like, he's like, oh, is that his? I was like, is that his brother? I'm like, yeah, Punisher's his brother. He's like, dude, I want Punisher to be my brother.
Oh, Jumper. That's right. He was in that movie. Yeah. See, I always forget his name. When you said Jumper, I was thinking of.
They're friends in real life. It's pretty cool.
Who, Shia and John?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Right on, dude.
John, I'm
again,
really starting to
love-
like John Bernthal, dude. He's a really good actor.
I feel so bad. That name is so forgettable. I'll have
I
to
just
learn
call
it.
him Shane from The Walking Dead.
That's the problem. He's so iconic as the head-rubbing Shane from The Walking
Dude, he's
Dead.
great in Fury and also in Baby Driver.
Who he also starred with Shia LaBeouf. I wonder if Shia or it's John Bernthal that's giving each other the roles. I'm guessing because Shia was the lead in this one, he asked to have John Bernthal in it. If they're friends, friends look out for each other. All right. Any other things
recommend
you
the
guys
movie?
wanted to say about this movie? Yeah.
Yes,
Do you guys have anything else you wanted to say?
No.
I highly recommend this movie. This was my pick for the podcast. I love this movie. Some reason I watched it again. I'm like, maybe it should be in my top 10. I just love it. I think this is a sweet movie.
Yeah, it made it into my top 100.
Watch this for many years to come. Yeah, it's definitely up there. I just don't know if it's the top 10 for me. Because again, it's so much like Swiss Army Man, and yet it's just a very sweet. It definitely has more.
So
heart
much
than
like
Swiss Army
you're
Man
saying
does,
there's a
but-
character that gets propelled by his farts. That's so much
Hey,
like it.
it's definitely Swiss Army Man.
It's
I'm
the
just
same
kidding. It's an
travel,
indie film,
yeah,
I know.
adventure fantasy, yeah, indie film. Hunt for the Wilder People, this movie, and
Yeah, are you kidding me? That montage, Jordan,
Swiss
is
Army
exactly
Man
like the
is-
montage in Swiss Army Man when they're like doing the dumb stuff together or whatever.
yeah, they're bonding, yeah,
like
they're
dance,
just killing
when he's
squirrels with
dancing with
acorns.
him or whatever in the bus.
Yeah. Again, there's so many similarities. Yeah, and again, I love these kinds of films.
I could just
think
see
these films are
Madison
really
going
special.
now, looking it up, and then watching it, and she being like, "What is this?"
Disclaimer: this one's much more down
Yes,
to earth.
this
let's
one
put it
is
that way, 'cause
very
even though it
much
feels
more.
like a fantasy, it does have mostly grounded in reality, with the exceptional throw at the end.
Good to know.
But again, it means so much more than the actual physical throwing. It's like
Yeah.
he did it. He's a legend himself. He
Right.
doesn't need saltwater redneck to be an idol anymore. He can be someone that he looks up to. He can become the hero of his story.
Right.
Doesn't need to be a villain because of his ailment. So I love that. I freaking love that. Well, would you guys recommend Peanut Butter Falcon? It's a hard yes for me. I think everyone should see this film.
Everyone
10
should.
out of 10. 100%.
Yeah, this is darn near a perfect movie. So, okay, well, Madison, we end every movie podcast by saying movies that we've seen lately and movies that we're looking forward to seeing. Do you have any movies that you've seen lately?
Yeah. What did I just recently watch? I've been
Any good
watching a lot
chick
of
flicks?
TV shows. Oh, I did watch a good chick flick though. Oh, what was
Did you assume that Madison is a woman that she likes chick flicks? Maybe
No,
she likes
every time I go
horror
over,
movies.
we watch a good chick flick.
I watched the other day What Happens in Vegas. And that's like not
like
a
that
quality
one.
chick flick, but it's good.
No.
It like
Yeah, just the ending when he punches him right. Then my
Yeah.
favorite part. It's so funny.
What happens? Is that the Ashton Kutcher one?
Yeah.
Yes, uh-huh.
Is that the one where the fat guy gets off of the airplane bathroom and he goes, Mexican
No,
food? What an
that's
oxymoron.
a different one.
Oh.
That's Just Married.
Oh, okay. Because that
Oh,
makes me
yeah.
laugh every time. So that's the only funny part about Just Married. So don't watch that movie.
What TV
But if
shows are you
like
watching?
Vegas, you probably would like that one.
I just started Ginny and Georgia. It's a Netflix one, and it like seems like a pretty I don't know what to call it, like one kind of like Gilmore Girls, but not at all, because it has like a lot more drama, and like the relationship of the mom and the daughter isn't as fun, but it's definitely it's like a single mom who's hiding a lot of stuff. Like at the end of the first episode, it shows that she murdered her last husband, and like in a very
Sounds like
sneaky
you.
way. And so yeah, that's what I've heard. It's similar to that. So I'm like intrigued. And then I've also been watching How I Met
thought
Your
you
Mother.
meant Madison. You're like,
I know. I
sounds
was like,
romantic.
what? You? What are you talking
What?
about?
Oh, you mean the show?
I've murdered
You.
all
Yeah.
my husbands.
There's a problem with that. It's like, I don't like you. It's like, wait, what? I don't like you. But the show, you. I don't like you.
I
can see that there's a lot of problems with naming your show
I know. I was like, she just did it totally straight faced. I'm like,
Oh, here, I'll do the reverse. You just go up to camera and be like, I love you. Like, thanks. And be like, do you want to watch it sometime? You're like, wait, what? Like, do you want to watch you with me?
I've heard
Oh,
good
you
reviews
with me.
about you.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I love you too.
I haven't actually seen the show You, but
It's a good
oh
watch.
man. Yeah.
I haven't seen you.
It's crazy.
Jesus.
It is
So many
crazy.
good
What a stupid
scenes.
title for
I
a show. Just gonna say. Next one's called Me, season 8. It's a spinoff of You. It's about me.
So just a deep dive. Oh man. But those ones are the ones I've been getting into lately. Yeah.
Solid.
I'm going to watch Moulin Rouge tonight. I've never seen that one.
The music's amazing.
Yeah, it's okay. Music's better.
Music's amazing.
Music's better than the film.
Yeah, the film's all right. But the music's
Okay.
so good.
It's good to know.
Ewan McGregor, man. This guy's got pipes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I guess Nicole Kidman does too.
Come What May and Elephant Love Melody. Oh my gosh. So good.
Take it easy, Jordan, all right? Keep it. Sorry. Madison, anything that you're looking forward to seeing? I guess you're seeing Moulin Rouge. Any other
Yeah.
movies that you're like excited to come out or looking forward to seeing on your bucket list?
I've heard Chaos Walking's really good, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm like, looking forward to going and seeing that.
Chaos Walking.
I've heard about
What's
that one.
About?
Yeah.
What's that one?
I don't know. I just have heard about it. And so I want to see it.
You're like, Chaos Walking sounds mysterious.
Yeah.
The one with
I like to see it
Sorry, it's-
along with you.
God. It's the one with Tom Holland and Daisy
I don't want to watch
Ridley.
it with you. I just want to watch you after
Ty.
I see
Ooh.
Chaos Walking.
It's been getting absolutely destroyed by Rotten Tomatoes though. It's 21% Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, ouch. Sometimes I don't trust
It's a-
Rotten Tomatoes, though.
Yeah.
I will
But-
say.
Me neither.
92% of people like this movie.
That's everything you need to know about it. It's a good film. It's just, oh, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how critics talk?
It's like,
Ty?
yeah.
Oh, I'm so
No,
fancy.
like seriously, they're like, oh, it gave nothing new. It's just a cliche. But it's like, if you do the things right, it's fine. Like, again, it does, whatever. Every single story is the hero's journey ever since Star Wars came out, okay? And movies are much better for it, okay? Because when they're missing the hero's journey, you're like, it didn't really work all that well. DC needs to take a lesson from this because their hero's journey sucks.
Zodiac
Like
is
the last Wonder Woman.
Nightcrawler is
Ooh, bad.
Oh my gosh!
yeah.
Top 10 worst films of all time. That is the
I'm
best.
going to
That's
need you
best
all to
comedy
take back
of
your
the
wishes.
year.
We need to review 1984.
That's best
the
comedy of the
ending. They need to
year.
rescind their wishes. What about the people that wish to not have cancer? What about the people that wish for world peace? Yeah, get rid of it all.
Ty, that's selfish.
You need to save the world.
That's
You need-
selfish.
That's selfish.
It was
Everyone
such a-
get rid of your
It
your
was so
selfish
sad.
wishes.
It was just like the first Wonder
And now-
Woman was like so empowering and so great, and then the second one was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Let's have in a guy's body that you look like that you. Oh man,
Yes.
that your conscious is in it, but you're not.
I
actually-
don't understand what that rock it was like torturing people. It's like, here's your wish, but I'm gonna mess you up in the process. Like, I want to be an apex predator. What the heck does that mean?
well, and that's the
Does it
thing.
mean
It's
you're
her
gonna be
wish.
Like, it means you're gonna turn into a cat.
She should have been an orca whale, dude.
what?
Someone said they should have done an orca whale. I said I wholeheartedly disagree that it would have been better than a cheetah fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that probably would have been dope.
Well, what does even apex predator mean? Why would you wish for something so vague and be like, I want to be an apex predator? What do you mean? Do you want to be predatorial to men? What is it that you want? You want to
Cat.
kill Diane and you want to?
And can we just
cat?
and the demonstration?
Does she like cats? There was no mention of cats. It's like Michelle Pfeiffer turning into Catwoman. You get it. She has all these cats in her apartment. It makes sense. And this one's like, I wish for this, and the wish stone's like, well, I'm an inanimate object, so why don't I give you a wish that doesn't make any sense?
And I love.
Now you're a cat person. And what was she horrified by her presence? We had no idea.
I love.
Guys, this movie was so
I
wrong.
love how
We need to talk about
shallow.
it.
I love
It's,
how
like,
shallow.
messed up.
Like all of the guys are depicted in the movie. They're all like, "Hey, honey, what's up, hot stuff?" Like just walking down the street. I'm like, what is this? Like the Vegas Strip? I'm like, oh my gosh, just downtown DC. Hey, baby. I'm like.
I'm torn because I've asked my wife about this, right? It's like if someone catcalls you, you could take a compliment, but like the idea that they're like, well, let me follow you home then, right? They can't like take no for an answer. It's like, I don't think most men are like that, but then again, the ones that are, it's like, does it happen after you take off glasses, or like all of a sudden, like people are
Learn how
noticing
to
me
walk
now?
in
It's like,
heels. That's your superpower.
Yeah, just learn to walk in heels, and people are gonna be like, hey, baby, like, probably not. Probably doesn't happen.
Trust me,
I'm gonna say no on that
I
one.
know from firsthand experience you don't need to wear heels to be catcalled. You can wear a missionary skirt and look like crap all day and be catcalled.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you
Which
can
is
be
crazy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially down in South America. I mean, you can be a guy and get catcalled. I got catcalled a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jordan's like, not to besmirch all of South America, but they're all catcalls down there. Terrible people.
He's not wrong.
No, okay, that sounded bad. I just worked in the city.
Bunch of apex predators.
I
down
worked in
there.
the city, and I was usually in the city. It's more like that.
Dude.
Animals.
What a wonderful discussion. All right. We wrap up every podcast by saying leave us a 5-star review. Write us an email, futromovies@gmail.com. If there's a movie you guys want us to review or have questions about any of the movies that we have reviewed in the past, like us and share. Cameron, do you want to share where you can find us?
Check us out on Spotify.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of, Cameron? It reminds me of the person I mentioned already,
Yes,
Norm
I know.
from Yes Man, but it also reminds me of someone that's like, did you know, like, we have an account, like, we do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, anyone could do a podcast. He's like, oh, really? Nuh-uh. Not anyone could just do it. It's like, yeah, we have a podcast. And it's like, it's one of the few things in my life where I'm like, I am fine if no one knows about it. But I love the idea that, yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on something called YouTube. Apparently, anyone can watch these videos from all around the world. It's crazy. It's absolutely bonkers.
Insane.
So check us out on any of the sites. We love doing what we do. So listeners, take it easy, stay safe out there. And Madison, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have a social media presence that you want people aware of? Do you want people to stalk you or follow you after this conversation? Nope, she's shaking her head vigorously. No. Okay. Well, you can find Madison, stalk her on Facebook make sure you catcall her. Yeah.
Yeah, I
when you
love
see her in the
it.
street.
Really boosts
I
my
love it.
self-esteem.
I am now an apex predator.
Woo! Oh, man.
All right, you guys. Peace and blessings. Stay safe. This is Future Hidden Movie Gems signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.